Hello. I am Erin Hines, your darn good business coach, and today I'm here to tell you balance is bullshit. Yes. If you actually take the time to think about it critically and not at face value, balance is just another game we're told to play in order to be successful. We've been sold this idea that the ultimate achievement as a leader, as a CEO, as a woman, is to have it all perfectly balanced. Work, family, health, relationships, self-care, growth. All these balls we're supposed to have up in the air, and none of them are supposed to drop, and somehow we're supposed to juggle them all with a smile on our face. But here's the thing no one tells you. Balance isn't freedom. Balance is just another cage. Because when you're trying to balance it all, you're just living in reaction mode. You're spinning all these plates, you're managing chaos, and deep down, you're exhausted because it is impossible to do. What if you're not here to balance? What if you were here to choose? What if leadership, which includes self-leadership, isn't just about juggling everything flawlessly in a business, but about unapologetically devoting yourself to what actually lights you up and letting the rest fall away and trusting that it will all work out? When you do that, the worry starts to melt away. The anxiety disappears. And suddenly, maybe for the first time in weeks, months, or maybe years, you actually have more time and space to do whatever your heart desires. I used to believe balance was the goal. I thought if I could just organize my schedule better, delegate more, color code the hell out of my calendar, then finally I'd feel like I had it together. I was going in the right direction. I was always trying to fix something so I could get everything I needed done. But do you know what really happened? It worked, but kind of. I looked successful on the outside, but inside, I was burned out, resentful, and wondering if this was really what success was supposed to feel like. Was I supposed to grind like this for decades and then eventually it would be time for me to retire? And I know I'm not the only one feeling this way, because I hear it all the times from the leaders I work with. But also, I see close friends having these same frustrations. They're constantly putting out fires. They're carrying the weight for everyone else. They're trying to be a good leader and show up, but at the same time, they are not happy inside. They're holding it together at work, at home, but secretly asking themselves, is this it? Is this what I've been working so hard for? And what I'm about to say next might sting a little, but doing it all is exactly what's keeping you stuck. It keeps you spinning your wheels. It keeps you in the weeds of your business instead of leading it. It keeps you surviving instead of actually living life. Simply put, you are cock-blocking yourself from the life you deeply desire. The truth is, balance isn't the goal. Balance should never be the goal. Balance is just a distraction. Because when you're chasing balance, you're basically saying, if I could just juggle all this perfectly, then I'll finally feel okay. But that's not leadership. That's survival. You will never truly feel soul-satisfying success if you're in survival mode all the time. The real shift happens when you realize you're not here to balance. You're here to simplify. You're here to choose, to strip away the noise and stop carrying the shit that was never meant for you to begin with. The stuff that doesn't excite you, the things you do just because you think you have to. But guess what? You get to choose what you do. You always have a choice. And yes, it's scary as hell to admit that, But the more that you rebel against what you do out of obligation and start doing what you actively choose to do, your life will do a 180. This is why I love human design, because it gives you permission to stop trying to be everything for everyone. It tells you you don't have to do everything under the sun. It shows you how you actually are wired to make decisions, how to use your energy, and how to focus on the stuff that lights you up instead of what drains you. It literally helps point you towards your purpose so you could finally fill your cup first. Because let's be real, half the things we're doing right now aren't even aligned for you. They're just shoulds you inherited from someone else's rule book that was right for them, but not necessarily you. Balance says, keep all the plates spinning, where alignment says, what plates actually matter? Which ones were never meant for me in the first place? And that's the rebellion, refusing to keep playing the balance game and instead devote yourself to what's actually real, what's true, and what actually makes you come alive, what turns you on. So if balance is bullshit, what actually works? It's not about doing it all. It's about doing what matters. It's about doing what only you can do. It's about choosing your energy, your alignment, your genius zone over all the other noise being thrown at you. Start with your energy. If something excites you, if your body leans in, if you feel alive, that's a yes. That is for you. But if something feels heavy, draining, or like you're dragging yourself through mud, that's a no. It is really that simple. And it's up to you to choose to let it be that simple. And I also want to help you with your decision making. And this is where human design hands you a blueprint. Your human design authority is literally the way you're designed to choose without overthinking yourself into exhaustion. If you don't know your authority, take a look at your human design chart. And if you don't have your chart, I'll leave a link below so you can get your chart free on my website. And when you get it on my website, it'll even have a quick snapshot of what your authority means so you could start experimenting with it right away. So take a look at what your authority is. That is what guides you to the best decision for you. Are you supposed to wait for that gut response? Are you supposed to ride the emotional wave? Follow a splenic whisper? Listen to your ego? Tune into your environment? Or wait a lunar cycle? Each of us are designed in a specific way to make decisions. And when you lean into making decisions with this strategy, life gets so much easier. Again, you stop overthinking because you know your body already knows the answer. And when you tune in to your body, you will know exactly what to do moment to moment. When you actually follow your authority, you stop second guessing every damn thing. And you start to trust that your body's already telling you what the next step is to take. And then, this is the kicker, when you double down on your zone of genius, the stuff that excites you, the things that come naturally to you, the things people already magnetize to you for, that is where you lead from, that energy. Not from busy work, not from I should do this, not from the comparison trap of how everyone else is running their business. I had to learn this the hard way. Every time I dropped something that wasn't aligned, when I said, no more, I am not doing that, my brain was screaming, I should keep doing it. What would happen if I don't? I didn't listen. I let it go anyways. And that allowed space to open up on my calendar. My energy started coming back. And the right opportunities, the right clients, the right momentum flowed in. So no, you do not need to do it all. You need to do what matters. And the wild thing is, when you commit to that, doing what matters most, everything else starts to fall in line and life gets easier. So here's the thing. Balance isn't the vibe you should be striving for. Alignment is. The world doesn't need leaders who balance flawlessly. It needs leaders who model truth, rebellion, and joy. The very features you want in the ideal client, the ideal employee. The more that you model what it means to be a strong leader, the more people will stand up and want you to lead them. When you stop trying to juggle everything, you stop being stuck in reaction mode. And that's when the momentum happens. You're not here to be a master juggler. And if you are, great. Juggling, I think, is awesome. But spinning plates for everyone else while your energy runs dry is not a fun thing. It's not cool. You're here to lead, to simplify, and to choose. And when you actually start living that way, when you start to say no to the shoulds, when you stop doing things out of obligation, when you follow your human design and start trusting your own damn intuition, you become magnetic. You stop surviving and you start thriving. You stop being the employee of your life and you actually step back into the role as a leader of it. You stand up and you lead your business to success. This is all about being a rebel in your own life, to take charge and start leading and living unapologetically, so you could create the business and life you dream of. And if you've been listening to this thinking, okay, now I need to know what this looks like for me, the first place to start is go get your chart. Grab it free on my website. The link is below. That one choice, that one commitment to better understand yourself, that is the first step to unlocking yourself and actually achieving the life you've been craving. Because you don't need balance. You need to tell yourself the truth. You need devotion. You need alignment. And when you lead from that place, when you believe this, your career, your business, your vision of yourself as a leader is going to change drastically. Thank you for listening. If you love this episode, share it with a fellow leader that you know needs to hear this message. Like, subscribe, and leave a review if this episode really lit you up. Until next time, keep rebelling, keep rising.